The Statesmen travel to West Alabama for a playoff football game this week. Kickoff will be at 12 o'clock. The Statesmen are coming off of a 45-35 win at Bowie State in the first round of the NCAA playoffs. Coach Todd Cooley won his first playoff game as head coach at Delta State. With that, we will bring Coach Cooley up to make an opening statement and then take any questions.
Appreciate everybody being here. Obviously, we're excited. Anytime you're practicing on Thanksgiving, I think that's a good thing, and we're still playing football Thanksgiving break, so that's good. Obviously, we got a tough challenge this week again, and we know a lot about this football team, great football team from West Alabama. But we're excited about the fact that we've kind of got that playoff game under our belt, and we're one of four teams left in this conference still playing, and that's a good thing. And we're really excited about this opportunity. Got a great week of weather. Got a lot to be thankful for. Fairly healthy football team still, playing 12 straight games. So I'm excited about this opportunity, and it's going to be a tough environment. We understand that, but we've been there before, and looking forward to it.
From the previous game y'all played earlier this year, what are some of the things y'all are stressing as far as the team, as far as the differences between the last game and what y'all need to do?
Well, I mean, I think we didn't play as well as we needed to the last game to beat these guys, and they got a really good team, and we made a lot of mistakes that we think we can learn from, but we're going to have to play a much cleaner football game this time around. We understand that. We're preparing for that right now. But, Andy, I think we're playing pretty good ball right now. I'm excited about where we are. I think we're getting better each week. I think that's important when you're trying to make a run. And, sooner or later, in the playoffs, you're going to have to play good teams every week. That's why it's so hard to win it all. So we've got to go do it. It just happens to be a team we know a lot about because they're in our league and we've played them a lot. And, I just think we got to play a much cleaner game, just to answer your question, than we did the first time. And we lost a turnover battle the first time. That's going to be key this time to protect the football and try to create some turnovers.
As far as not only just the run game on offense, but on defense, that was really key in the win against Bowie State. Just talk about how important it's going to be to continue that momentum.
I think that's what we do. Our last three games, we ran the ball really well. That's why we had a really good November so far. And I think in this time of year, you got to stop the run and you got to be able to run the ball to win, especially when you go on the road. So that's going to be a point of emphasis for us. They do a really good job of stopping the run. Obviously, West Alabama does. And first time we played them, they did a good job of running the ball. So those are two things right there we got to get corrected in this football game. So, that'll be a point of emphasis for us this week.
Just talking on the course, we talked about the improvement of the defense. Just talk about how they've been able to maintain that the mentality they've had of just kind of seem like they play loose and just fly to the football.
Yeah, I think that has to do with Coach Partridge a lot. I think him and Coach Partridge is doing a great job. Whole defensive staff. Kelvin Green's doing a great job up front. Jesse Thompson with their secondary. Those guys have a lot of fun at work every day, and I feel like our players feel like they're prepared. They like to play the game of football. That's what I've said from day one. This team they love playing football, and they're going to enjoy practice today, and they're going to enjoy this week. And we sat on we got a special group. We sat on a tarmac in a plane for 6.5 hours. JT was there. Phillip was there. These guys never complained. They just laughed. I complained more than they did. They just like being around each other. They like playing the game. They were just thankful they won and got to keep playing this week. So, I don't know, just a real special group. I like them. I like the way they work every day. And we feel like it's a strength of our one of the strong points of our football team.
Looking at the overall playoff picture, coming into this week for the coming in the playoffs for the 7 teams from the GSC. Now you have all 4 of those GSC teams are still alive. Just talk about the conference as a whole and the overall quality that says about about the league teams in this league?
I mean, that's what we've been saying all along. I think it just speaks to our league, and this is a great football conference, always has been. For us to get a chance to go out regionally on a national spotlight and 3 teams to go on the road and all 3 teams to get a victory, I think it just speaks to our conference. It also speaks to how good West Alabama is that they won this conference, so what we're dealing with this weekend. I mean, I think the second closest team lost 3 games. We ended up beating each other, but West Alabama didn't. So they only lost 1. So it's a tough league, man. Tough league. We've been saying it all along, and I was proud that caught a little flack getting 4 Go South teams in. Regional committee, national committee caught a little, backlash from that, but I think they proved it right. We proved it right week 1. Is why we deserve to be there. So, now here we are. We feel like we're basketball coaches. We're in the postseason tournament here with all. It's a Go South postseason tournament.
Coach, if you could campaign for Chris Robinson to every Connerly Trophy, what would you say?
Guy scored 43 touchdowns in 2 seasons. He's had 538 yards rushing in 3 games. When you're supposed to be playing your best football, he's playing your best football. He is the best football player since I've been here that we have had at Delta State. He is an NFL prospect. There's no question in my mind. And the guy, I mean, think about what he's done. I mean, it's not just about this season. He's had a great season, I think that everybody that votes for that, I mean, and it's always seems like since I've been here, it's either an Ole Miss or Mississippi State award, but – I mean, last year he didn't even get in the top 3. I mean, and I didn't say anything, but now I've got a chance because you asked me the question. I mean, that's a joke that he wasn't even in the top 3. That's an absolute joke. I don't know who votes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the guy. I wouldn't trade him for anybody else that's getting up for the award. I can tell you that right now. Wouldn't trade him for anybody. Guy's really good. I love him to death. Great family. Great person, great ambassador of our university, 3.0 student, and he plays football the way it was meant to be played. He's tough. The things he did. I mean, I'm going to tell you something he did the other night. We're down there. We're up with 2.5 minutes left, and Breck breaks a long run, right? And we go to Wildcat and put Chris at quarterback. Now, he's a running back. Everybody knows that. He goes in at quarterback. And everybody in the stadium knows he's about to run the ball from the 3-yard line. But he knows how good their offense is, Bowie State's. So he sits there, and we don't even talk to him about this. Clock's running, play clock's running. He snaps the ball. He milks the play clock down, snaps it with 1 second on the play clock like he'd been playing quarterback his whole life and walks it in for a touchdown. I mean, you just don't we've never even talked about that situation with him. We're just like snap it to him. We talk to him about reading his blocks, and then we don't overcoach him. I mean, we let a player play, and he's a player. But for him to do something like that and then take time away from that offense to help his whole defense, knowing he's about to score a touchdown, I mean, that's just one scenario. But let's just call it what it is. He's probably not going to win a Connerly, because it's going to go to an Ole Miss player or a Mississippi State player. But does he deserve to be there? Yeah. And does he deserve to be up on that podium? Yes. He deserves to get to talk. I deserve to get to go speak about him. In my opinion, he deserves to win the whole thing, but probably not going to happen. Let's just be honest about it.
Coach, how many players have you coached that have scored 43 touchdowns in 2 years?
None. And I bet if you ask most coaches in the country, they'd say none. It's an amazing stat. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing what that guy's done. He finds a way to get it in the end zone. He scores a lot of different ways. I mean, NFL scouts come in all the time. They talk about body of work. I mean, goodness gracious, look at his body of work. I mean, look what he's done. They say, well, if you're a Division II player, you have to dominate. I think he has, So, he's a good player. I know he's up for the Harlan Hill. He deserves every bit of that. But he also deserves to win the Connerly Trophy, in my opinion.
As far as the tendencies, Coach, when you're facing a team like West Alabama, you know their tendencies over the years. They know yours. Does that make it easier or more difficult in terms of
I think it makes it a little more difficult. I think it gets dope, but when at the end of the day, I think it gets down to what it should be about, which is execution. It should be about execution and which team plays the better game. And that's never going to change with football, you know. But, yeah, we know a little bit about them. They know a little bit about us. And, you know, they do a great job. Their coaches do a great job. They got a great program. We feel like we have a great program. Should be a heck of a football game.
As far as, do you add wrinkles to, or do you just keep everything pretty much the same?
Well,
To this point?
yeah, I think both teams have gotten here by doing what they do. You know, and I think there's always some game planning that's going to go on, but we're going to try to go execute our plan better than they execute their plan. And, you know, they've had 2 weeks to get ready. They're going to be well rested, and deservedly so. They deserve the bye. I mean, they won this league. You deserve to be the number 1 seed. So we just got to keep playing this week. I mean, keep preparing, starting today at 2:30 with practice 1. And, you know, that's going to be a big day for us today and a big day for us tomorrow. And, you know, we've got some wrinkles in. They've got some wrinkles in, I'm sure, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think either one of us are going to out-scheme the other one. I think they've got great coaches. We've got great coaches, and we're going to just get down to whose team is more ready to play that day and who's going to execute.
And just as far as the comeback fashion of this team, especially coming down the stretch.
Uh-huh.
Can you just kind of shed some light on quality about this team, especially over the last few weeks? It's been nail bite after nail bite to you guys.
Like I said, it's just it's a special group. They always seem to understand when their back's against the wall. I mean, they're just a bunch of fighters. I mean, you're about to talk to Landry Tullo. Landry Tullo wasn't recruited by hardly anybody. You know, he's a scrapper. It's about as good a compliment as I can give anybody because that was my high school mascot, and that's what I feel like I am. You know, we like to play. We like to fight. We like to scratch. We do hard things better. We talk about all those things. We understand the fourth quarter. You know, we understand how to play. And I'm not saying that we've always done that here at Delta State. Every team's different. But this football team right now, 2017 version of our family, understand when their back's against the wall in the fourth quarter, they got to play their best. And it started pretty much all year. We've played really well in the fourth quarter, you know. And in this first time we played West Alabama, that we nearly pulled that one out, you know. And we just don't quit. And you know, we got beat by Valdosta. We got embarrassed by Valdosta a couple weeks back, but our defense kept fighting. We kept fighting the whole game. We just, you know, they just beat us. You know, sometimes it happens. You either win or you learn. And you know, we learned that day. But since that day, since after North Alabama kicked us, we've been playing pretty well. And it started with a 10-point comeback on the road at North Greenville, and it really hadn't stopped. You know, do I wish sometimes it were easier? Of course, but I think it's supposed to be that way this time of year.
Anything else?
Last question, Coach.
Sure.
Just sidebar. Thanksgiving's coming up Thursday. I know you're talking about being thankful for having help with your team right now, but can you just elaborate maybe on what Thanksgiving means to you, and also about just being thankful for some of the things that maybe
Well,
still around your life?
sure. You know, obviously, Thanksgiving, I was lucky growing up. It was a great time to be around family. I think some of my best memories growing up were around the holidays. You know, it's changed a little bit with losing my father and losing my grandparents, but you know, that's part of life. But you know, I'm just really thankful that obviously that we're still playing. That's always great, but I'm thankful to be around these guys. You know, I'm thankful to be around these guys on Thanksgiving, and I'm really thankful to see how much these guys have grown up, matured. Some of them are going to graduate in December, moving on. I'm thankful for what we've been able to do here over the last 5 years. Just really blessed, man. We're really blessed. We've got each other. We got home safely. It took us a while the other night, but we got home safely, and we're still getting to compete with one another. And I think those things are just very, very special. And if you're a football guy and I'm a football guy, Thanksgiving's always important because it always comes in the middle of football, and usually it means you're doing something really well if you're still playing. So I don't know. Just got a lot to be thankful for right now, and been good to us, man. We've been good to each other, and God's been good to us, and we're really excited about where we're heading. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate y'all.
You're good now. You can turn it off. You know how to turn it off. I'll do it. All right, guys. With that, we will now bring up Landry Tullo. Landry is a senior linebacker from Hoover High School, and he has 97 tackles, leads the team, also leads the team with 14 tackles for loss, and ranks second on the team with 6 sacks. Landry?
How everybody doing?
Landry, what, as a defensive unit as a whole, y'all's numbers as far as giving up points and yards and everything, y'all been much improved. What's been, from a player's perspective and a team's perspective, what's been the biggest philosophy y'all gone into each and every game?
We're just dogs out there, relentless. Really, our mindset all year has been don't look so much at the scoreboard, but do your specific job every play. And football's a roller coaster. I mean, momentum changes here and there, pick here, punt block there. But on defense, our job is to make sure there's no points on the board, no matter what happens. So we feel like that our mentality has been no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstances are, we're just going to do our job, specific jobs, stick to the scheme, keep our eyes off the scoreboard, and chips will fall where they may.
Last week when y'all went up against a team like Bowie State that was looking good in all their facets of the game, of course, y'all neutralized their running back, y'all neutralized their running game. What was kind of the mindset of the team going into that particular game?
Well, going into that game, we knew that they were the number one offense in the nation. I mean, we knew that they were a talented, really, really talented squad, really fast, really fast, actually. Their number 2 and their number 6 were incredible players, quarterback and running back. We knew if we could somehow get them one-dimensional one way, that we'd have a chance to pull it out. But that quarterback was really shifty in the pocket, made great decisions, threw the ball away, slid the right times, made first downs, made checks at the line, would look at me and make a check and change this and slide it there. So we knew if we could take away one part of their offense, their incredible offense, that we would have a chance. So Coach Partridge and Coach Green did a great job up front, taking away the run game, getting away that number 2, and that way we had a chance to win at the end of the game.
Now against a team like West Alabama, of course y'all lost a tough one to them the first time.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that, from a defensive standpoint, y'all feel y'all need to improve this game?
I mean, we got to tackle. That's always an improvement you can make is tackle. They're a phenomenal offense. They have been all year. I mean, the numbers don't lie. The quarterback doesn't lie. Film doesn't lie. Tremendous offense, tremendous receivers, running back, one of the best O-lines we've played all year. So we're going to have to be at our best, no doubt, because if there's one thing that they've done all year and what they did to us is the smallest mistakes you make, they find it and they pick it up and they capitalize. So if we're not on point all the way through from first level all the way up to the third level, that quarterback will catch us. So
this year, with this year, what are some of the things that you've done that's kind of made you a better player this year as opposed to years past?
Years past, I mean, I'd say I've really focused on my diet more overall. I've noticed a pattern in the last 4 or 5 years where I'll just gradually my body I'll start gaining weight towards the end of the year. So if there's one thing I've really tried to focus on, and us as a linebacker core focus on, is doing all the little things to be ready to go on Saturday. Diet, ice baths, stretching, knowing that the team we had and the quarterback and the running back that we have and the team that we have to go a long way, we know that we have to take care of our bodies that way and get ready like a marathon. Know that we don't have a bye week, and know that if we don't do those little things, don't take ice baths, don't stretch, don't eat right in certain places, that our bodies are going to catch up to us. So I'll say that's probably the biggest thing I've done, is really focused on my diet and stretching and all little things like that. Being a fifth-year guy too, your body starts to catch up to you a little bit. So if you don't do those little things, you'll be feeling the game on Saturday throughout the week, throughout the next week, if you don't do those things. So
With all the teams that made the playoffs from the Gulf South Conference still in, of course, with y'all having to play against those teams week in and week out, just talk about what type of a challenge it is.
I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, since I've been here, the GSC is the SEC of D2 football. So all of us in here together, I think it shows that we are truly the best conference in the nation. And, I mean, once again, the film doesn't lie. We're fast, we're strong. Quarterback, I think that we're the best coached conference in the nation, because every week is a new scheme. Guys can run, guys are big, guys are fast. If you make one mistake, guys will catch you and they'll score points. So I think you have to give credit to the coaches at this conference too, and how every week is a battle and every week is not. There's no game during the Gulf South Conference during the year where you say, okay, we might not have to watch as much film this week. And it's the same every week. So, I mean, you got to give credit to the coaches and the teams of this conference for being as strong as they are. And that's why we're in the playoffs now, why we're all in the playoffs now.
After Cooley scored 21 straight points in that third quarter, what was kind of talked about amongst the defenders?
Oh, it was just, the same all year. What Cooley said all year is we don't panic. Stuff happens. And then our one big phrase that we've had all year on defense is next play, no matter what. So something bad happens, team scores, team this, team that, whatever, forget it, go on to the next play, go on to the next drive. So I say as a mindset, when they did score that 21, we just thought, there's still time left on the clock. And if there's time left on the clock, the game's not over with, not for us, no matter what the score is. So it was next play mindset for us.
Anything else?
All right.
Thank you. All right, guys, next we'll bring up quarterback Breck Ruddick. Breck's from Marion, Arkansas. Last week ran for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win over Bowie State, including a 3rd down and 2 where he gained 65 yards to help get the Statesmen down to the 3-yard line.
Breck, talk about that run that JT just mentioned. That it was 3rd and 2 with the left, went all the way down the 3-yard line. Because kind of what was going through your mind with the play call coming in? Because it's coming on a timeout, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, that's a pivotal point in the game, we get that first down, we kind of seal it. So my thought process through that was just, at minimum make 2 yards, but get as much as I can get.
Breck, just overall, just talk about how you say your game has evolved throughout the season.
I would say it's evolved probably with utilizing the run game to, develop the passing game. I would say that throughout the season we've actually designed more quarterback runs, more read option plays that allow me to make something happen.
This game coming up against West Alabama from y'all's end on offense, what are some of the things that y'all feel y'all need to do better this time?
Secure the ball, not get as many turnovers. That's an obvious one, but really just stay focused, do what we have to do to be efficient.
Just kind of throughout the year, there have been, throughout the course of a game, there might be some areas where, throwing the ball, you might struggle, but then you'll run well, and then maybe some areas where you might struggle running, but then throw the ball well. What kind of talk about your mindset when something's not working?
Really, my mindset when something's not working for me personally is just go back to my fundamentals. One thing that Coach Cooley always tells the quarterbacks is when you know your fundamentals, everything kind of slows down. You can really kind of just focus on what you have to do. You're not really just kind of scatterbrained out there, really just trying to read everything going on. You just kind of focus on your fundamentals and everything just follows through after that.
So far, just being with the team and those type things. How is this year at Delta State been for you?
Oh, I love it. I love this team. I mean, they're family. They're family. I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to come in and play with. I mean, they mean everything to me. I can't even put into words how much like gratitude I have for them.
With some of the teams, like all the teams that made the GSC playoffs, still around. Talk about competing against in the Gulf South Conference every week.
Oh, it's extremely tough. Like Tullo said, everybody brings their A game, and you can't sleep on anybody in this conference. Everybody's going to give you your best shot. You can count on that.
So as a comeback fashion of this team, kind of talk a little about how you guys seem to thrive when the pressure is at its peak. Seems like that just seems like it's something you guys thrive on right now.
I think the reason we thrive on really focusing in the fourth quarter, doing what we have to do, is because in practice, Coach Cooley demands so much of us. I really think that because of that, we are always prepared for whatever gets thrown at us. We're not a team that panics when something goes wrong. We just stay level-headed and know we have to get it done.
Talk about your offensive line play the last 3 weeks, really creating those holes for you and for Chris.
Oh, they do a great job. They do a fantastic job with creating holes. But they've been doing that not just these 3 weeks. They've been doing this the whole season. I really do think they go not unnoticed, but they don't get the appreciation that they really do deserve, because they do a fantastic job of creating holes and letting us do our thing out in space.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, Breck.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we'll bring up Connerly Trophy finalist and Harlan Hill nominee running back Chris Robinson. As Coach Cooley said, Chris has gained 538 yards in his last 3 games, so that's about 180 yards per game in that time, and also scored 8 touchdowns as well. All right, we'll bring up senior running back Chris Robinson.
Chris, over these last 3 weeks, has there been any main adjustments that you've made that's kind of stepped your game up?
Well, my main adjustment was to come in, practice, focus, and just come out and compete and just do my job.
Over these last three weeks, when the going's gotten tough and the pressures and the game's been on the line, you've really excelled. Talk about that situation where it seems like every game is a one-game season, and as a player, what's that like?
I love it when the game is on the line and the ball is in my hand, because I'm a competitive player, and when it's crunch time, I really want the ball in my hand, and I know what I can do, and coaches know what I can do, and I think it's just helping our team more and more down the season.
The team y'all were up against, West Alabama, of course, y'all faced them earlier in the year and lost. What is about them that make them tough?
They got a good defense, but we had a lot of turnovers during that game, and if we just come out focused and play hard from the first snap, it's gonna be a good one.
Chris, Coach Cooley mentioned earlier the play towards the end of the game when you were in the Wildcat at the 3-yard line, and you knew to look up at the play clock. Was that just instincts to think about that?
Yeah, it was instincts, because I know that we need to run the time down some, so I was waiting until the clock got lower for me to call a snap. I mean, I love playing quarterback too.
Well, what is it different about being in the quarterback position instead of getting a handoff? What's different for
when I'm in the quarterback position, I feel like I can do whatever I want to do. I can either go right or left or in the middle. So I feel like it's on me. The ball is in my hand, and I'm in control. I'm in control of the offense.
Can you talk a little about maybe playing with a chip on your shoulder because of your size? I know probably coming out of high school, coming out of junior college, that's probably been a knock on your size. But kind of talk about how that has been your driving force.
Coming out of high school, I didn't have too many offers, and I know I was a good player, and my daddy was a good player growing up, and like everywhere I've been, I just want to play hard, just come out, compete. I went to JUCO. I was like third string. I wanted to quit. In like third game, I started in like the third quarter, and I rushed for like 100-some yards. And then the fourth game, I was starting, but I just come out and compete every day and just show them what I can do.
Did you always play with a chip on your shoulder, like equal talent?
Yes, sir. I always play with a chip on my shoulder because I always know. My mama always told me, like, when I was growing up, she was like, "You gonna be something. You gonna do something in this football." And my brother don't even like sports, and I was the only one that played sports.